Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Karibuni sana for those who are new. My name is Kyando. Karibuni. Now, before I go on to what we are going to do today, I feel like this video has ever been done before by Ose. Yes, and I'm going to link his video in the comment section below. Ose did a video on content creation in Tanzania, if I'm not wrong, and if that's not wrong about the topic, but I'm sure he did that because I commented. Yeah, so he talked about how the content creation, how content creation is not as much huku Tanzania kama sehemu zingine, like for example our neighbors Kenya, and he was urging more people to like wajitokeze on what we are going to do today. So somebody on Instagram, let me check. Yes, here. So what are your thoughts about YouTube space here in Tanzania? I told her, like, sis, I got a lot to say, not only on YouTube but also on Instagram, and it has to do with also brands too, because we are all in a new environment as Tanzanians, and we don't want to learn from other neighboring countries. Sis, let me just do a video on it, and here we are doing a video. So today we are going to be doing two things: chit chat on content creation in Tanzania, my thoughts, my opinion, nobody else's opinion, that's just me, Kyando, saying her views. And then we are going also to do this hair at the same time. I hope we are going to make it. Yeah, so I'm going to do a wet look on synthetic hair, or rather putting gel on selfie hair, and also a chit chat on content creation in Tanzania. So let's start the video. So I'm going to be doing this thing on these old braids that I have, and my scalp naijua mwenyewe, so where's my oil? Yeah. Naijua mwenyewe. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to oil my scalp. Though nili oil jana, but you know, kwa sababu naenda kwenye nanili, let me just do this. And there is a mirror here, that's why you're seeing me looking here. So content creation in Tanzania, what is content creation? And there's this thing called influencers. Yeah, so there are two different things. For those who do not know, my opinion again, I'm looking for a lip balm. Let me oil, but then Dodoma is cold. Now the sun do imerudi. And I went to church today. Yeah, so I'm so happy. So like I was saying, there's a difference between content creators and there's a difference between being an influencer. So for those people who do not know, okay, my opinion again, this is how I know. A content creator is somebody who gives information of something that I may create yeye mwenyewe. Maybe I may take a photo. I think everybody can be a content creator. Like anybody, if you post something on Instagram and you've done content because you took a picture, you put it there, you've done your content, you've created content. But kuna wale ambao they call themselves content creators. I call myself content creator because I more or less think that I put more effort than most. And yes, I put more effort, I put more thoughts, I put more expenses on this creating of this content, because I want to share a certain part of what I want. Now you can create content using a lot of things, like you can create, not using a lot of things, you can create content by in different styles. Like for example, you can create content using like you can have different types of content. That's what I was saying. You can have different types of content. Like for example, I create content on fashion, lifestyle, and what is it called, and beauty. And when I say beauty, I mean hair, makeup, skin, nini, vitu kama hivyo. And then when I talk about fashion, I don't mean being a stylist. I don't mean that. I just mean that how I wear my clothes, how I style my clothes. You don't need to be a professional. It's just how you dress. Somebody else, everybody's a role model. of someone. So how I dress, maybe like 5 people, 2 people, 1 person admires how I dress, so me, I create content for that 1 person, for those 5 people. And you can also create a lifestyle type of content where you show people how you live your life. If you're into healthy life, if you are into traveling, if you are into any such kind of things. Anyway, lifestyle is so broad, even beauty can be also lifestyle, so that's what I'm talking about. So content creation, that's content creation. Mimi, I feel like tunatakiwa kujua kwamba kuna wengine walianza mapema, they didn't even, before even we knew what content creation is, people started posting. We have people like Malaika. If you've been on Instagram, you know Malaika. Malaika has been posting fashion. She just posts fashion, how she dresses in a day. Like anaweza enda kazini, but before she goes to work, she posts herself dressing very nicely, and people are like, were following her because she used to dress really well, yeah, at that time. But I don't know what happened now. She opened a shop and whatnot. Yeah, so this brings me to let me not go so much into content creation. First, we are doing hair, guys. Let's not forget that. So I have this selfie. This is the old brand. They repackaged it, but I wanted the black one, so the shop that I went to, they had this old version. But I have these red ones. Now they have this new packaging. Darling has new packaging. This is the new one, and this is how it looks like. It comes in 2 batches. Yeah, this and this. Now, for those people who have never used this hair, it's quite long and it's inajaa sana. So for me, I want a wet look, which is, I don't know, not too long. Yeah, I tend to think not too long. So I've taken it out. So this is how it's in a car. Yes. So what I'm going to do, in order for me to nanili, I'm going to kuchambua it by doing that first, and then this is how I'm going to do. Now, it's not quite easy to kuchambua, but we are going to do it. So while I'm doing my hair, we're going to still talk about content creation in Tanzania. So, what I was saying, yeah, so that was content creation. Now let's go to influencing. Influencers are the people who influence their audience into maybe buying something or into doing something. Yes, that's an influencer. In order for you to be called an influencer, you have to have an impact on people. You have to have that influence on people to do what you want, what you are doing, or you are promoting something and you want people to buy. You are influencing people to buy, and if you have an influence of a lot of people, then you are able to make people buy a certain product by just talking about it. Yes, so that is an influencer. So my point is, not all content creators are influencers. That is one thing you need to understand. Not all content creators can be influencers. So in order for you to become an influencer, you have to be able to teach, or rather, let me just put it, you have to be relatable, first of all, to your audience. You have to be able to teach people. Okay, if I'm talking about this hair, I'm going to give you information. If I'm giving information, then I have to give you the pricing. By the way, this is, I can't remember the price. I can't remember the price. This is like, I think between 7,000 to 8,000. I'm gonna check, but normally it ranges from there. So yeah, so that is an influencer. Now we have different types of influencers. We have traditional influencers. I mean, traditional celebrities. They can be influencers. For example, we have Diamond. He's an influencer because he's a traditional celebrity. So who can be an influencer because he has a large audience of people who are listening to his music. So of course people are going to listen to what he's going. So you find that more brands will work with such kind of an influencer so that they can push their product to his audience, and thus they are going to gain something. So that is an influencer, number one. Number two, we have the social influencers like Jackie Aina. Those social influencers ambao wanajulikana sana, yani wanajulikana not on music, not on movies, not on anything. Wanajulikana too from social media, and they have a very large following. So unakuta kama like who, kama in Tanzania, I'm giving you examples in Tanzania, like what is her name? Oh, Sanchi just came out of nowhere because of her body, and what, she became famous, and then she became a social influencer by accumulating a lot of followers on her Instagram page, and then she became a social celebrity. Let me give you an example. Somebody in Tanzania who is well known socially, for example, those days during, anyways, yeah, so the late Bikira wa Kisukuma, everybody used to know him. Like locally in Tanzania tulikuwa tunamjua. That guy was a social celebrity who used his status as an influencer to get somewhere. So yeah, that guy is a social influencer. Now let's go to another one, who is a content creator, who is creating content to influence on people. Yes, so that's what we are talking about. So you have to know why you are creating content. So when you're talking about content creation in Tanzania, it's there, ilikuwepo tangia enzi zile, but what I think people mean is influencers. Influencers wapo, na we have content creators who are influencers. We have many people who have even started their own businesses, but tatizo linakuja hapa. How are content creators, or rather influencers, tunatofautiana? Kuna wale ambao, let me give you an example. There are those people who just these are social influencers. Wale wanachukua simu and they post it. The day is done. That is the content they have created, done. Which is true, that is content, but there's a difference from what I'm doing. I have to film, I have to edit, I have to do what? We are totally different, and the workload is totally different. So I don't need to be beautiful for you, or rather, let me put it this way. You can choose to be a type of influencer. All those types of influencers that I've put, let's talk about content creators. You can create content to do two things: to make an impact, or to just look beautiful, and that's it. So for me personally, I feel like I want to become an influencer, a content creator who is going to be an influencer, or rather who is an influencer by creating an impact. And I chose the things that I love, especially skincare, beauty, and hair, natural hair especially, and protective styling, fashion, especially body positivity, and especially right now when I'm really overweight, so I can use that to make an impact on other people, to accept each other, to accept themselves, and not be stressed about other things, or rather to teach people how to do some stuff, and to encourage people on how to, for example, I do not know how to do makeup. I'm not a makeup guru or anything close to that, but I try my best to do that, and encouraging other people to start, because if you don't start, then how are you going to practice your craft to become better? Most people are there wako pale because of practice. So I choose to be that kind of an influencer. So one batch is done except for this, but before we go on, I have to tell you one thing about also being an influencer, a content creator who is an influencer. First of all, you need a content creator who is an influencer has to try out the product first, atumie, and then aangalie kama if it's good or it's bad, depending with our audience. For example, I make content about what is it called, natural hair. So I would use the products for like a month or 2 weeks, and then come here, talk about those products, what I see, my views. Not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily mean that whatever I have, what my opinion matters that much, but at least there's someone out there who is into buying a product, and we all know such products are very expensive. So hautaki kwenda kununua kitu bila kuangalia review. So we make reviews out of out of our experiences with the products. For example, another thing is I can use my skincare. I have a problem with whiteheads, and I've seen so much on especially on YouTube, hakuna any information, or rather there's very minimal information on how to get rid of whiteheads. Sometimes inachanganyikana na blackheads, and I don't have blackheads, so it becomes very confusing. That's why because I have a problem with whiteheads, I can buy stuff, and then if it works for my problem, and then I come to you, make that information clear, and then watu wengine ambao who can relate to that kind of a problem waweze kujua, oh okay, so hiki na hiki na hiki kinatumika. So first of all, in order to influence someone, you have to be very trustworthy. Yani ndio hiyo kwamba trustworthy inakuja kwamba people know that umenunua hicho kitu, and most of the times unakuta most people wananunua ama hata kipewa, na anapewa because na yeye anajaribu kukitumia, and then anakuja kukiongelea. So I have to be trustworthy in order for me ili niweze kuweza kuwa influenced. Now tunakuja kwenye kitu kinaitwa brands. Brands ni zile kampuni sasa. I'm also a brand as an influencer, as a content creator. I'm also a brand. Sasa let's go to brands za kampuni sasa. Our clients that we expect that if you reach at a certain type of influence or a certain type of following or subscription, that you can be able to work with certain brands. Additionally, Tanzania tumezoea brands kufanya kazi na traditional celebrities and not content creators. Something ambacho hata brands wanatakiwa kujifunza. Not everything is going to be relatable with the traditional influencer. For example, Tanzania kuna brands ambazo of course unakuta kuna brands ziko high end and kuna brands ambazo haziko high end. For example, I saw kwenye a certain, oh yeah, there's one time, or rather I think she's also like Vanessa Mdee. Vanessa Mdee is, I think, I'm not really sure, I think is a brand ambassador for Hayat. Now it doesn't necessarily mean that only Vanessa Mdee ana influence yake. She's a traditional influencer. She's a musician, so she's well known of, and a massive influence and a massive following. So sio kila mtu who is following her for her music can relate to her lifestyle. I don't know if you get what I mean. Sio kila mtu. She can influence people who feel that they can afford going to maybe Hayat. I'm giving an example. Please, this is my opinion. Yeah, so akienda kule, it doesn't mean somebody like me cannot go there. There's no way yeye kama anakuwa brand wa certain kitu, and we all know that is like a 5-star or 4-star, I don't know what star hotel, and unakuta kama mimi yeye akienda, people be like, oh yeah, it's nice, na inaishia hapo. The people who can go ni wale watu ambao feel like we are in the same caliber with her, I can relate to her, I know her, then it means that I can afford to go there. Yeah. And then unakuta kwamba brands zikitaka ku broaden their whatever, they need to work with people who have, tuseme, a smaller influence. And unakuta kwamba, for example, kama mimi, I have my friends and they know how much I earn, or rather not exactly, but wanajua what I can or cannot afford. So if they see me going to a certain hotel which no one of us has ever gone, and then niseme, oh, you guys, and then I create content out of that, and then you niwaambie what, because if I'm going to create content, because I'm a content creator, I'm going to give you the price, I'm going to give you the food kama ni nzuri ama si nzuri, I'm going to show you in pictures, yani nitawaonyesha, and then other people would feel interested to go, and then unakuta watakuja in my DM, and then kwa sababu nimeshasema the price, wengine they don't have to come to my DM, they will also go. So it's going to be relatable. My type of influence and content is going to be relatable to the people that feel relatable to me. So brands needs to learn that once they get celebrities, yes, but they also need to get other people, like content creators, who are going to, like, they already have their audience, and they already have like people who wanawa trust, ili waweze kutengeneza that. I don't know if you get what I mean. So that's what I mean, like brands nazo zinafanyaga mistakes, and then unakuta kwamba zinachagua tu only traditional influencers who are celebrities, and then they don't get, yes, they can also get social influencers who are going to influence their type of people, and then there's those content creators who give detailed information, who give, yani they put their effort in it, and then wanatoa. That's what I'm talking about. So wakiwa na all that type of people who are going to work on that, then that thing is going to work, because I'm going to influence my own people, they're going to influence their own kind of people. Yes, and that's how it works. And that's why you see that most brands in the uko nje, they work that way. Wanachukua nanili influencers ambazo ni traditional celebrities, wanachukua social celebrities, and then wanaenda kuchukua sasa content creators who are like wale wadogo, and then they make content out of it, they get paid, and then you continue with your life. That is how it is. Now, another thing ambacho kinafanya watu like brands zishindwe kufanya kazi na influencers, or rather content creators wa Tanzania, ni kwamba, one, we are just making content out of it. We are not really into it, yani kuongea tu kweli. For example, personally, mimi nilianza content creation, I think seriously last year. Last year nilitumia tu sim both on YouTube and my Instagram, and then towards the end of last year nilipata chance, a company came to me, not a company, two companies, big one of them was a big one, international one, ambayo yani if I tell you people, you won't believe. And then wakaniambia, we like what you're doing, but ni vile tu your content is not the quality that we want. Unaona? Unasikia? So sometimes if you want to work with brands, big brands especially, or rather even any kind of brand, you have to show that you're serious. You have to show that you've invested in it, so that they know that, oh, hata tukimpa na yeye ataonyesha, yani because she's taken this thing seriously, atafanya kazi vizuri. So you need to do that by improving your quality, by doing research, so that every information that you're going to put out there is going to be correct information and helpful information, tips that are going to be helpful to people. And tunatakiwa kuwa consistent. Guys, I'm not even consistent, and these streets are so hard. And ukiona kama mimi, I have a job, so there's no way I can be that consistent, but I'm trying my best. Lakini if you continue hivyo consistent yao, na consistency doesn't mean every day. Consistency means like naweza post leo, kesho, at least in a week niwe nimepost. Kama kila wiki na post mara 3, niwe na post mara 3. Kama kila wiki na post mara 2, mara 1, iwe hivyo. That is consistent, my own kind of consistency. I used to think consistency is like every day you have to show up, every day you have to show up. No, it doesn't necessarily have to be like that. And most of us hatujui our niche. Hatujui, unajua, most people have discovered, kwanza kuna hichi kitu in content creation. Let's go back to content. Yani hizo za brands sitaongelea sana. Let's go about content creation. Kuna faults zingine tunazifanya sisi wenyewe. For example, unakuta mtu amefanya a certain kind of video na wewe unaenda kufanya exactly like that. And then unakuta mwingine anafanya a certain kind of video na wewe unaenda kufanya exactly like that. So it become, and unakuta kwamba it's good kufanya kama mwenzako amefanya, which is okay. For example, we have in Kenya, there's one time when Joanna did a DIY thingy, and the next week Wabosha did a DIY video, which is okay. Everybody did at their own way, and how should I say it? And they were preparing for their studio. Unanielewa? So you cannot. There's no way mimi nitamwona. For example, let me give a simple example. Ika Male, the person who wanted me to do, to give my opinion about it. I'm going to give an example of her. She makes dishes. She makes what is it called? Hair videos. She makes easy cleaning thing. Okay, she did a cleaning of the fridge. My God, there's no way you'll find me doing such kind of a video, because first of all, sitaifanya, yani you will see kabisa kwamba that's not me, kwa sababu kiukweli I do not like doing cleaning, I do not like doing all that kind of stuff. Unanielewa? Unless I do it just because it's a vlog, so vlog tunaweza fanya because at the end of the day I'm supposed to clean my fridge, but yani ku make content ya fridge. But for her, you can see that she's really enjoying it. Unanielewa? Or rather, let me give another example. For example, Nani Zanzibarian doll. Zanzibarian doll makes videos about, like, she comments about certain events that has happened. I love that about her. And she does them, you see like kabisa kwamba she's well informed about those things. Learning mimi nikuje hapa nianze make such kind of things and yet I'm not informed. That will be copying. That will be copying for real. Or I'm just going to give simple. Yes, let's go to Ose. Ose makes take or photography thing, and then mimi nije hapa just because I've taken some few photos using my Tecno, and then nakwambia jamani how to take just because yeye alifanya and then akapata views, then tutakuwa tunafanya zile biashara za because huyu anauza maandazi ameuza, let me also start biashara ya maandazi. That's what is going to happen, which does not work. Find something that you really enjoy. It doesn't necessarily have to be one thing. For example, personally, like I told you, I'm doing fashion, beauty and lifestyle. Na lifestyle nimeiweka because sitaki kujifunga. Yeah, so my opinion on content creation, we need to like get there, yani like Tanzania, if you know what I mean. So you also need to, brands needs also to see that and not follow subscriptions are not, it's not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily mean that how do customers. For example, personally I have my own business page and I used to have less following, and yet I make a lot of money from my business. Not a lot, but I make enough money from my business and I sell through me creating content in my personal page, directing people to my page, if you know what I mean. So, and I didn't have a lot of following. Actually, up to now while I'm making this video, I don't know about Kesho, maybe nitakupa nimeshafika 1,000 followers on Instagram, but I've made my business work, driving people to my business even with less following, but ninajua kuna watu wanakuja wanaangalia and then wanaondoka. For example, my YouTube consists of people who watch my videos are not my subscribers. 80% are not my subscribers. My subscribers wanaangalia chache. So followers, it doesn't necessarily mean ndo nalili. Okay, my videos kwenye Instagram I make videos and unakuta kwamba I have views nyingi and yet most of them are not my followers, if you know what I mean. So people just know kwamba huyu ana create content for a certain type of niche. So if you want any information wanakuja kwako, and most people don't want to follow people, so hawakuji kufollow, but when they need a certain kind of information wanakuja kwako. That is what I mean. So following does not necessarily mean ni na nili. And plus, people would only follow if things that they really enjoy, things that they really like. So if people don't like my type of content, there's no way they will follow. There's no way they will follow. So they will only come to me kama they need something from me. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So just like if I have a problem with what is it called, there's no way, I have natural hair, so there's no way nitaenda kwenye page ya mtu ambaye and a relaxed hair to get information from there, or rather I won't follow them. And this brings me to the part where some content creators wanataka, oh, follow my page, follow my page, follow my page, follow my page. Hata mimi sikuambia watu wanifollow. I just struggled. Okay, I told some of my friends who are close to me, but nika realize later that they only followed or they only subscribe to my channel, but they don't normally watch, or they don't comment, they don't do anything. Trust me, your friends won't even support you in this thing. First of all, they don't understand, so don't blame them. They don't understand. So I won't follow a page that I cannot relate or I don't want to, and don't take it the hard way. And I'm having a hard time to like unsubscribe or unfollow people who I do not really like. And it's very hard, but you have to in order to reach somewhere, because at the end of the day, if you follow such content, labda tuseme gaming, if you follow gaming and you're not into gaming personally, so utapata kwenye explore page yako suggested videos unakuta kwamba zinahusu hivyo vitu, and you do not want that. So follow pages that you feel like. If you feel like my nanili, you don't want to follow it, don't. Hakuna mtu anakulazimisha. And I don't for nanili. That's why when I'm ending my videos, I'm like, share to your friends. If they like this kind of video, then they should subscribe. If they don't, then, although I don't say they don't, but kama wanapenda wata subscribe, kama hawapendi hawa subscribe. Let me spray some water onto this hair and see if this thing is gonna work. Like I said, this is new to me, so let's try. Yes, let's spray some water. Okay, there we are. And then I'm going to be using this anti-Jackie's Don't Shrink Flaxseed Elongating Curling Gel. I'm going to do, push my leg. Oh, there's a difference. Work it. Let's just hope this thing is not going to be a failed video. You see, there's a difference. This is still, this is different. So, let me get business. Yeah, tunachagua really well, like she said. Looks nice. Looks really, really nice. I like it. Some more. Okay. Nice. Okay, so this is how it looks like. So yeah, so I think let me do this side off camera and then come back to you. So I've already put gel here and here and loose, but when I was styling the hair off camera, I'm not right. I'm not left-handed, guys. So it was hard here, but nimekata kubwa. So it means that I wanted it to be like this side, but so. So that's it for today. I think I love this. I cut it. Nilifanya makosa nikakata huku nyingi kuliko huku. But anyways, it's still looking good. Nice. I will try this style again. Like it's a really nice style. Like I can't. Yeah, so until next time, I think that's it that I have my opinions for today. If I feel like I have other types of opinions, I'm going to do another video. But if you have any content creators, guys, this is your platform. I do not have to be necessarily right, but you can go check it. Comment in the comment section below. But otherwise, see you guys. I hope you like this hair. I hope you like this hair. So until next time, guys, ciao.